Welcome, champions, to Geek Salad's Road to Infinity War. I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
And we are almost at our destination of Avengers Infinity War with the second to last movie that we need to review prior to the release of Avengers Infinity War. And that movie is Thor Ragnarok.
Yes, I got my nifty little steelbook here.
Nice. I just got the Target Blu-ray DVD digital copy.
Yeah, that artwork is too beautiful for me, and I even like the back right there.
Oh, that's beautiful. Yeah. That's really nice. Before we even begin, Mike, where does this rank on your list?
This is my number 5.
This is my number 4.
Whoa!
And considering how much the Guardians of the Galaxy movies and Civil War, it's just right below those 3. Yeah,
it ranks just below Guardians for me. Guardians my number 4. Okay.
Let's start because this movie, we got a lot to unpack with this movie. What works?
It's a shorter list. We cover what doesn't work.
Yeah.
First off, they finally let Chris Hemsworth explore his inner humor. He's a naturally funny guy.
Right. And he was the funniest part in the National Lampoon's Vacation redo. He was the funniest part about the Melissa McCarthy Girlsbusters.
Yes, I agree with that. Although I did enjoy that movie to a certain extent.
Right. But he's naturally a funny person. And there have been little bits and pieces the further that this has gone on where they've let him kind of be a little funny.
Yeah, he had some really funny moments in pretty much all of the movies. Well, except there wasn't too much humor in Dark World.
No, there wasn't. I think he is funnier than I expected him to be in the original Thor. They gave him some funny stuff in Avengers. I think his interplay with Stark was fantastic in that one. More so in Age of Ultron. He's got 2 really brilliant lines in that. The line delivery about, your enemies you'll be hearing your enemies' screams in hell of muscle pulls and bruises.
And just that slight fade of the smile when Captain America just shifts the hammer. It's just a slight thing, but it's so effective.
For I am mighty. This movie lets him off the chain.
Oh, yeah.
Almost out of the gate, almost literally off the damn chain. The opening with him and Surtur sets the stage for what you're getting out of this movie. A very naturally funny movie that has a lot of great action in it. But has just kind of realized how ridiculous this whole Asgard thing is.
Yeah, he tries to call the hammer, and it doesn't come right. He's like, hold on. I should have timed this better. Hold on.
Is telling him his plan, and he just they just cut to him. He's like, oh no, wait, one moment, I'm coming back around. I swear, I'm not doing this.
It's just a natural humor to him, which it's sometimes it's like Channing Tatum. When you see him, you're like, he can't do humor, dude. He can do humor.
He absolutely can. The thing is too is that I think it works well, especially in this movie, because Thor has spent time with Midgard, with Earth, with Earthlings, with humans, mortals, whatever you want to call them. He spent time with them, and now he's trying to get to be like one of them with his electronic mail. And
but beyond that, just the very concept of Thor is a pretty out there concept. It's pretty wacky.
Having a god on Earth is a ridiculous concept to have. And that's the beauty of this, is that I completely buy that Chris Hemsworth is Thor, God of Thunder. But at the same time, they've made him so incredibly relatable.
Yeah.
He is, he's hands down the MVP of this movie. In a movie with MVPs.
Oh, yeah.
Followed up with Jeff Goldblum.
Oh.
I don't know if I would rank him as a villain. He is definitely a foil of some sort. He is definitely an antagonist in some ways, but he is an absolute delight with every scene he is in.
They basically, Taika Waititi basically said, okay, Jeff, just be Jeff, but as the Grandmaster.
Right. Here's all you need to know about this character. Go Goldblum.
Yeah.
And the really interesting thing is, too, is that when you tie this into the Marvel Universe, especially with the Eternals, you've got Benicio del Toro, who plays the Collector. And they were just like, okay, here are the ins and outs of the character. Go Del Toro.
And
there's like others in this.
I know it's been said before, but I would pay good money to see a buddy picture between Jeff Goldblum's The Grandmaster and Benicio del Toro's The Collector.
I really hope that we see something like that in any of these subsequent movies.
I'd even take a post-credit sequence. I don't care.
I don't care. It doesn't have to be official canon stuff.
Yeah.
Let's give it up for Mark Ruffalo as well.
Oh, yeah.
Considering how great he has been for the cinematic universe and for Bruce Banner on the whole, I love the fact that he is just so much a fish out of water when he is not the Hulk.
Oh yeah. I mean, just all the quotes like, Tony wears his pants so tight.
Oh yeah, he's pulling at his crotch. And there's that great bit where he's like, "Do you know how many PhDs the Hulk has? None. You know how many I have? 8."
But I mean, beyond just that, but also the Hulk. The Hulk is the best character we've seen him as in any of the movies so far.
This is the best iteration. Absolutely the best iteration, because the Hulk has humanized. He's still a mindless savage, but he talks. He rationalizes. He can be a bit of a jerk from time to time.
I mean, like they said, he's basically a 2-year-old Hulk.
Right.
He got the mentality and the personality of a 2-year-old, but he's still the Hulk.
Yeah. He there's some great stuff in there. There's also some really great just little sight gags in there, especially after their big gladiator battle where he's bathing and he gets out of the tub and it's just Thor just can't look, but he can't look away.
He can't unsee that.
That gladiator sequence was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
it was
one of the best, like just huge fight scenes, just one-on-one. So we've seen in the MCU to date.
We've seen them fight before. We saw them fight in Avengers. I do enjoy that they've gone back and they revisited that fight. They've revisited the animosity of this, but the callbacks,
dude,
to other movies between the whole no banner, only Hulk, and then when he tries to sunset him.
Oh yeah.
Lullaby is great because he just did it and like I could do this.
My favorite part though is when Hulk takes him and just smashes him around. And Loki's like, "Ha! Yes,
that's how it feels."
Oh,
and it was the exact same way he took care of Loki.
Yep.
Oh, it was so well done. Tom Hiddleston doesn't get enough credit for how good he is in this movie. I think there's so much good about the movie. Tom Hiddleston is great because Tom Hiddleston has essentially resigned himself to the fact I am always going to be a villain. I may or may not do the right thing from time to time.
What's great about this movie though is that scene where like you have Thor and Loki talking and like Thor's like, I know that's how you are. I'm not going to try to change you. I am how I am. You are how you are. You're not going to change. I accept that about you, but I also know I can never trust you.
Right.
It's a beautiful little scene.
Oh, it is a really good scene. Loki has some great stuff at the very beginning as well. When they're on Asgard, when he is masquerading as Odin.
Oh yeah, and you got Sam Neill, Matt Damon.
Oh my god, that whole scene is it's so brilliant. And you first of all taking some callbacks from the comic book, which they don't do a lot of in the MCU, which I really actually appreciate. I like that they're not. Shout out to the fanboys. Shout out to the fanboys. But they take a lot of the ridiculous stuff and make it seem cool. Like, build the statue with my helmet with the big horns on it.
And they mentioned Thor Frog.
That's the fanboy shout out I was talking about.
Yep.
We turned him into a frog. Another couple little Easter eggs too that I really liked were some of the champions. One of the champions of the Grandmasters Contest of Champions was Beta Ray Bill.
Oh yeah. They showed that Corbinite face in that statue.
In the tower, yeah. Valkyrie in this movie is fantastic.
Tessa Thompson is just she played a character that has so many levels, but fits within the movie too.
Well, I also like too that she goes against type in a lot of instances. The first one is that she's not white and blonde.
Yeah,
there's that. I like the iteration of the armor because as a kid growing up, Valkyrie was always boob cup lady because she had the black outfit and then the metal boob cups.
Don't get me wrong. Growing up, that wasn't bad.
Yeah, it wasn't bad, but they went with more of Valkyrie's white outfit, which I really liked a lot. I think it's a good interpretation of the comic book outfit.
Yeah.
I love that her sword is very similar. I think it's Dragon Fang.
Yeah.
It's really nice to get these nice little details in a movie that quite honestly turns your typical threequel on its head. This movie is completely divorced from the other two Thor movies. A couple of exceptions, obviously, with stuff like mentioning Jane Foster, Loki masquerading as Odin. That's it. This is its own movie.
I mean, well, and the Doctor Strange cameo.
Oh, yeah, well, there's that. That has nothing to do with the other Thor movies, though. And that cameo was fantastic. I really liked them giving Benedict Cumberbatch this great comedic bit where he's got a leg up on Thor, which doesn't happen all that often, but that he's there and he's doing stuff like, I'll need a strand of your hair. No one takes the hair, but he just pulls it off.
And just constantly flipping around the room.
Just keep moving him. And then when he brings Loki back and Loki drops out of the sky, he's like, I have been falling for 30 minutes.
And then he tries no, you're out of here.
Okay, bye-bye. He just sends it. It is fantastic. This movie is so rewatchable. And I think on a greater scale than maybe for myself, maybe with the exception of the Guardians movies, this movie is infinitely rewatchable.
Oh, absolutely.
There's always something new to catch.
Actually, you know what? For me, the real MVP of this movie, Taika Waititi.
Absolutely, I will agree with that. He knew what he set out to do, and for a guy who has really only directed small New Zealand-based movies, he's got a good eye. He knows the characters. He pays attention to the characters. Yeah. I do like his little cameo.
Well, it's not really a cameo. He plays the full role.
Yeah, exactly. Korg is he's amazing. But he keeps the New Zealand accent.
Yeah.
This is Mink. I stepped on him a while ago. He's dead. I just felt bad. And, oh, look. Mink's alive, everyone.
I know. You can talk to Doug. He's right over there. Hey, Doug. Doug's dead.
Doug's dead. He's a lot of fun. He's like, I'm made of rock, so I can't be beaten unless you've got paper. Sorry, a little rock joke there.
But I mean, beyond that, but just his sensibilities just fit so perfectly. And I've heard a lot of people that say they were done with Thor, but after seeing this movie, like, I want to see another Thor movie directed by Taika Waititi.
I absolutely do too, and I don't think he is one of these guys that is officially in the fold.
Yeah,
I mean,
James Gunn.
I would be shocked if at some point they offer him a Star Wars story. It wouldn't shock me one bit to see if Taika Waititi is offered a Star Wars movie. Maybe not one of the episodic movies.
No.
Maybe one of the Star Wars stories. I wouldn't be shocked one bit.
Not at all. I actually I would love to see just a standalone Star Wars story directed by him. That would be fantastic.
In the fold. He is officially in the fold now. They have Haley Atwell, Taika Waititi.
Yeah. And James Gunn.
And James Gunn too, yeah. I think that it would be a little on the nose for him to do a Star Wars movie, but it's coming back for a third Guardians.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the villains real quick, because I think that they both really worked as well. And by both, Scourge, it's tough to call him a villain because he's conflicted throughout, but he's a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah. Yeah. To a certain extent, I'll get back into him.
All right. And then Cate Blanchett as Hela.
I really like Cate Blanchett. She was menacing. She was extremely menacing.
It's a key to a professional actor, a great actor, that they don't look embarrassed by being in this movie.
Yeah, I mean,
I never felt like it was a paycheck movie. Glenn Close in Guardians of the Galaxy, I felt was a paycheck move for her.
Yeah,
this was not at all.
If you listen to some behind the scenes story, it was a paycheck role for her, but it's a credit to her as an actress that she never looked once like she was just doing this for the paycheck. She gave it her all. She
was fantastic, and that's a credit to this movie as well, because there was so much fun stuff going on with Thor that usually your lulls, your bathroom breaks, if you will, are when they would go back to Asgard and she is rallying her army and killing off the Warriors 3 with the exception of Sif, who was busy doing a television show.
It's true.
Saved by scheduling conflicts.
It's true.
Yeah. I think that bringing them back was just going back and forth. There was a lot of good stuff on there. There weren't really a lot of lulls. Heimdall, his part has essentially been beefed up solely because of the rising celebrity of Idris Elba.
Yeah, I still liked his role. I thought, I mean, he was there, and when they used him, he was used effectively.
I agree. I'm just saying that his role got beefed up because he is one of the more popular actors in this series.
I can't disagree.
All right. So you want to get back to Scourge. Is this part of what doesn't work about the movie?
A little bit, yeah. I liked Scourge, especially in the beginning when they introduce him. He's just kind of like this, you know, he's in over his head.
He's a meathead jock is what he is.
Yeah. But I maybe it's just that we didn't get enough time with him, but I never really bought his turn and then his other turn and his death would just seem like a throwaway thing. It never really there was never really any connection for me with him.
I can agree. I mean, I don't particularly agree about, like, some of the stuff comes out of nowhere. He's conflicted throughout. He's kind of doing it as a means of survival. Now, this character is nowhere near the badass that the comic book is. Scourge the Executioner. But he's enjoyable to watch. The opening scene with him. Mining the Bifrost, where he's got his 2 guns that he bought, he picked up in Texas. Yes, truly. And then the shake weight.
Oh, jeez.
The shake weight. I enjoyed that a lot. I liked that they were trying to give him a little bit of game and then immediately taking it away from him.
Yeah. I thought, I kind of wish they'd held him off until they had a good point, until they actually brought in the Enchantress, because the Enchantress and the Scourge always kind of went paired on for me.
Right. Now, who knows?
Yeah,
That's probably Thor 4.
yeah.
Another really cool thing I liked that worked about this movie was Mark Mothersbaugh's score. Because the alternations between the Asgard stuff and then like this goofy synth new wave Devo, because he was the lead, he was the front man for Devo. This is this great new wave score, especially when they're doing like the Grandmaster's theme and the Grandmaster mix, which is fantastic on the soundtrack, by the way.
Oh, dude, that Willy Wonka scene. Oh my word. It is so freaking hilarious.
And I got to admit, it was one of the more fun Stan Lee cameos.
Yes.
Especially lately, where he's got to cut his hair. And then the thing, please don't cut my hair, please.
That look of sheer terror on Chris Hemsworth. Again, Chris Hemsworth be able to pull it off.
Mm-hmm. And then the climax of this movie, which obviously we're not going to give away because, spoilers, it's so satisfying. And a lot of that has to do, with the editing, use of the Immigrant Song.
Oh.
As an action. It's used twice, yeah. Both in action sequences. And both it really works because the Immigrant Song is about the gods. It is the hammer of the gods.
Not only that, but in both scenes, it looks like an album cover that would completely fit with the Immigrant Song. It not only is it a great battle scene that it's used in, but it just the visual style works perfectly.
And by the end of this movie is the true spiritual predecessor to Infinity War.
Oh, absolutely.
Obviously, we'll get it. We'll dig a little deeper next week when we talk about Black Panther. But this guy here, this is the jump off point.
I believe from what the
Infinity War.
Yeah, from what we can see in the trailer of Infinity War takes place literally maybe 5 minutes after the end of this movie.
Right. After that cut scene or the after credit sequence where you see Thanos' ship.
Right.
Coming up against the Ark.
It's big.
It is big. And that will tie us to all of the cool Guardians stuff. So, yeah.
One more really awesome thing is just speaking of the visual style, that flashback scene of the Valkyrie versus Hela.
It was like one of those Renaissance oil paintings.
Oh yeah, it looks like it was straight out of Kirby. It looks like Kirby was drawing the entire thing.
Right. What worked about that was, you remember the movie Immortals with Henry Cavill?
I never watched that one.
It's a terrible movie.
That's why I didn't watch it.
The visual style that they had gone with in that could have worked for that movie. It works in that Valkyrie versus Hela scene.
Yeah.
And that's the exact same visual style. It looked fantastic. This is the movie that this is my primer again before Infinity War. It hits all the right notes. It checks all the right boxes. There's very, very little I can complain about this movie.
Yeah, the only negatives I've got are, again, I think Scourge could have been used better.
Yeah,
and I'm not gonna lie, I get why they killed off the Warrior 3 so quickly. I kind of want just a little bit more with them.
It was unceremonious, especially because I'm a big Ray Stevenson fan. So it was very unceremonious, and really my biggest quibble about the entire movie was they just died like little bitches.
Yeah. Just a scene with them and Thor to they're just a little reunion, just to kind of give you a little bit more of a connection, so it would make their death maybe mean a little bit more. But as it was, all their deaths proved was how badass of a Hela was.
Oh yeah. Oh, what's her power? Oh, it's freaking knives. It's all the knives.
Yeah. You think she's out of weapons? No. She's got a lot more.
I truly do love this movie. It's great too because again, you're dealing with possibly the weakest of the franchisement portions of the MCU, and you come up with the best third movie.
Yeah.
All right, no. I'm gonna pull that back because Captain America: Civil War is a threequel. Just doesn't feel like one because it feels like half an Avengers movie.
Well, technically it was, but
it was, yeah.
It was still Captain America: Civil War.
Yeah, exactly. But this is my number 4 out of 17 movies, 18 movies.
Yeah.
This is, totally. And last question: how does this fit into the MCU? Well, this is where this is the jumping off point for Infinity War.
Yeah. I mean, this one and Black Panther, I think, are just perfect setups for. Well, even this one even more so than Black Panther.
Right, in terms of just the overall linear storytelling. And then next week when we discuss Black Panther, we'll talk about the other aspect of that.
Yeah.
So that's, speaking of which, next week we finish. Oh my God.
Well, hey, next week is Ragnarok. I mean, it is Infinity War.
For that, we are going to be talking about Black Panther.
Yes.
I do love that movie. Obviously, I'll get into it later on. But if you feel that there's any points about Thor Ragnarok that we missed, please leave a comment below. Don't forget to like this video. Don't forget to subscribe to Geek Salad. We are doing this weekly now on our YouTube page, as well as our podcast, Geek Salad, which you can get at geeksalad.podbean.com. You can also download the Podbean app, the Stitcher app, or the iTunes store. You can also follow us on Twitter at Geek Salad Radio and Geek Salad Podcast on Facebook. Mike, am I forgetting anything?
Geek Salad Radio at gmail.com.
Oh, yes. We're always looking for episode ideas, especially now with the newer video format that we're trying out here. What movie series do you want us to try out? You can email us at geeksaladradio@gmail.com. Maybe we'll put some polls up on Facebook, not Facebook, at Twitter as well, and see what you guys want us to talk about in terms of just overall reviews or the good and the bad of something. I'm game for pretty much anything.
I'm not a big fan. Well, neither one of us is a big fan of horror, so maybe not so much that one. But
right, exactly. But I'm sure that if I put a poll up, I can find 2 or 3 things that we could find some common ground on.
Yeah.
Until next week, when we conclude the road to Infinity War, I'm Andy.
And I'm Mike.
Go forth, be nerdful, and Excelsior. We'll talk to you soon.